Good morning, class. We are learning chapter first, growing plants. First of all, I'm going to revise the topic which we have learned in the previous lecture. And those topics are reproduction from other parts. In this topic, we have covered vegetative reproduction. So we learned about vegetative reproduction. What is vegetative reproduction? The process of reproduction by which a plant reproduces its body part like root, stem, etc. So basically the reproduction from root, stem, leaves is known as vegetative reproduction because root, stem, leaves are vegetative part and the reproduction from vegetative part is known as vegetative reproduction. So reproduction from stem, we have taken the example of rose plant, sugarcane, hibiscus plant, potato, ginger. These are the plants which are reproduced by stem cutting. Then we have learned reproduction from root, like sweet potato, turnip. These are the plants which may be reproduced with the help of their roots. Then reproduction from leaves and spores. Some of the plants like Bryophyllum fern, Bryophyllum is reproduced with the help of leaves and the fern is reproduced by spore. And then we have done the activity to show that root and shoot grow in suitable condition. And what are those suitable conditions? Means water, light, and air. Hope you have performed this activity at your home. So let's start the today's topic. The today's topic is crops. What are crops? What are the type of crops? These are the topic which we will discuss today. So let's start. Open page number 8 in your book. Crops. We get most of our food from plants because most of the human and the animal directly or indirectly depend on plants. So we get most of our food from plants. The plants that are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale during a particular period are called crops. So plants grown on a large scale means the plant which we are growing in our field in a particular season or in a particular time period throughout the years. And those plants are known as crops. Like this is the season when we are harvesting a wheat crop. And after 1 or 2 months, we will start growing paddy plants, means rice plant. So today we are harvesting wheat crop. And in winter, we will harvest rice crop, or we can say paddy crop. So paddy is the second name of rice plant. So the plants growing on a large scale in a particular time period throughout the year are known as crops. Different crops are grown at different places on the basis of soil type, water available, and the climates. So these are the basic requirement for to grow in any type of crops. Means soil, what type of soil we are having, the water available, and the climate. Climate means the weather condition of that place. So these are the essential factors. Type of crops. So how many type of crops we are having? So in India, we are basically having 2 type of crop, Rabi crop and Kharif crop. In India, crop like wheat and gram are grown in winter from November to April. Like this is the season when we are harvesting the wheat crop. And what was the season when we sow the seed of wheat? That was October, November. So in October, November, we are preparing the soil, and the season of harvesting is April. So that particular time period is from winter to summer. So the crop which are sown in winter and harvesting in summer are known as winter crop or rabi crop. Crop like wheat, gram are grown in winter from November to April. They are called a rabi crop. So which crop we are harvesting nowadays? It is wheat, and wheat is a rabi crop. It is a rabi crop. These crops do not depend on monsoon rains. So they require a little water. So they not depend on monsoon. Vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower, pea, and bean are also grown in winter. So they are also these type of vegetable, and the crop like gram and wheat collectively known as winter crop or rabi crop. So one question can be asked from this topic: what is rabi crop or what are winter crop? So you can easily answer that question. The crop sown in winter and harvesting in summer are known as rabi crop or winter crop. Example are wheat, gram. There are some vegetable like cabbage, cauliflower, pea, and bean. These are winter crop. The crop grown in summer from June to October. The crop grown in summer from June to October are called creep crop. Are called creep crop. Like rice, maize, jowar, bajra are creep crops. So the season for these crop are from June. Means June, July is the rainy season in North India. So June to October, and October, November is the winter season. Okay? Winter are just starting at that time. So the crop grown in summer are called summer crop or creep crop. And the example are rice, maize, jowar, bajra. These crops depend largely on monsoon rains. So they required water in a large scale. They heavily depend on water, mostly depend on water. So they required rainy season. So they are sown in rainy season and harvesting in winter season. So vegetable like pumpkin, brinjal, groundnuts also grow well in summers. So we can collectively name some crops and vegetable. So means rice, maize, jowar, bajra, and some vegetable like pumpkin, brinjal, groundnuts are known as summer crop. So again, there will be a question: what are creep crops or summer crop? So you can easily answer that question. The crop grown in summer from June to October are called creep crop or summer crop. Example are rice, maize, jowar, bajra, and some vegetable like pumpkin, brinjal, groundnuts. These are the example of summer crop. So you can easily differentiate between rabi crop and creep crop. There can be a question: differentiate between rabi crop and creep crop. So what will you do? Simple, you will make a table. One side you will write rabi crop and another side you will write creep crop, and you will give the definition and some example. So there will be 2 points. In first point, you will write definition, and the second point, example. Next is healthy crops. Healthy crops. So what a farmer actually do to make a crop healthy, or what should we do? Crop need to be grown on a very large scale to feed the entire population of the country. All the country, all the population of the country needs wheat, rice for their to fulfill their requirement of food. So crops need to be grown on a very large scale to feed the entire population of the country. The practice for growing crops on a large scale is called agriculture. So it is also an important terms, means key terms. What is agriculture? The practice of growing crops on a large scale means we are producing crops, we are doing crop production on a very large scale, then it is known as agriculture. Then it is known as agriculture. Essential requirement to produce a good crop are. So what are the basic requirement? What are the necessary requirement? Essential requirements to produce a good crop. These are as follow. Farmers should have knowledge about the soil, climate, and the season for growing different crops. The farmer which are going to produce crops, they must have the proper knowledge about the soil, about the climate, means the weather condition, which crop rainy season is suitable for which crop, and the winter season is suitable for which crop. So they have the proper knowledge about the climate, about the soil in the different seasons. In which season we can grow which type of crop. So these type of knowledge they must have. They should sow healthy and ripe seeds. They should plow the field to make it ready before growing the next crop. Plowing means in ancient time, like you are watching in diagram, a farmer used plow. There was pair of a bull, and they are loosening the soil with the help of an implements, with the help of a tool, and that tool which make the soil loose is known as plow, with the help of plow. Nowadays we are using a tractor or the heavy machinery to make the process of plowing very easily. So they should sow healthy seed and the ripe seeds. Okay, and a healthy seed will affect the production. They will not grow into the healthy plants, but the healthy seed will develop into the healthy plant. So before sowing the seed, farmers should separate healthy and unhealthy seed so that healthy seed can be sown. The third point, farmers should mix the right amount of fertilizer in the soil to increase its nutrient. So farmers should mix the right amount of fertilizers into the soil. So what are the fertilizers? Fertilizers are some chemicals which are added to the soil to increase the nutrients. And what are those nutrients? Like nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfate. These are the nutrients which play an important role for growing a healthy crop. So every plant needs some nutrients. But when we are producing the plant on a very large scale, means in agricultural practices, we have to add some nutrients into the soil so that a healthy crops can be grown. So to do this practice, we add some fertilizers. So fertilizers are some chemicals prepared in a factory and added to the soil for their nutrients requirement. Two kind of fertilizers used for this purpose. So one is organic and the another one is inorganic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers or manure are the natural fertilizers obtained from cow dung, dead and decaying plants, animal or vegetable matter. So the fertilizers which are produced with the help of some living organisms like cow or buffalo waste, or dung. We put into a big pits, and after some time, cow dung, the vegetable waste, dead and decaying plants, they will convert into a black substance. And that black substance is known as manure or organic fertilizers. So farmer use that manure into their field. Inorganic fertilizers are generally made of chemicals such as urea, nitrates, and sulfates. They are manufactured in factories from some inorganic matters. Inorganic matter means non-living matters. Like organic fertilizers or manure, they are prepared with the living, dead, and decaying matter or the waste product that are coming from the living organism like cow and buffalo. But inorganic fertilizers are generally made of chemicals, means non-living things. Urea, nitrate, and sulfate, those are known as inorganic fertilizers. These are made in fertilizer industries and are harmful to environment. So excess of fertilizers means excess of inorganic fertilizers is harmful for environment. Like it can pollute water, it can pollute soil. So excess of inorganic fertilizers is very much harmful. So you can easily see into the diagram. Irrigation is there. Farmer is using pesticides. Pesticides means the chemical used to kill the bacteria, the microbes which damage the crops. The irrigation means supplying water to the field, to the plant, is known as irrigation. So farmers should properly irrigate, means supply water the soil when required. So unnecessarily water supply should not be there. When there is a requirement of the water to the soil, only that time farmers should supply the water to the plants or to their crops. There are some different methods by which we can do irrigation. Irrigation is to supply the water to the field for their crops. That method is known as irrigation. In simple word, we can say giving water to the plants in the field is known as irrigation. So they should use insecticide and pesticides to protect crop from insects and pests, etc. There are some harmful insect and pests which can totally damage the crops. So to protect the crops from pests and insect, so farmers should use insecticide and pesticides. However, overuse of pesticides and insecticides can be harmful to the soil and crop and ultimately to our health. So excess of fertilizers, excess of insecticide and pesticides, these are totally harmful to the soil and the crop and ultimately to our health. So they should be used in a limited amount and should be used only when required. Only when required. If there is no requirement, we should not use excess of fertilizers, pesticide, because they are harmful chemical. They will pollute soil, they will pollute water. So they should be used only when required and only used in limited amount. In limited amount. The next point is crops should be cut properly and gathered. This is called harvesting. Means cutting of crop when it is fully prepared or fully ripened. That process is known as harvesting. So nowadays, what is going on? The wheat crop is fully prepared. It is fully ripened. So we are cut wheat crop, and that process is known as harvesting. So we can say harvesting of wheat crop is going nowadays. So crops should be cut properly in the proper manner and gathered. It should be gathered at one place. So this process of cutting of crops is known as harvesting. So in this topic, we have discussed about agriculture. What is agriculture? means practice of growing crops on a large scale is known as agriculture. And what are organic fertilizers or manure or inorganic fertilizers? Means manure or organic fertilizers, natural fertilizers, which are obtained from cow dung, dead and decaying plants, animal or vegetable waste. So in this manner, we can prepare a fertilizer which are known as manure. And the second method to produce the fertilizers are from inorganic matter. We can obtain fertilizers from inorganic matter, like from non-living things, like chemicals such as urea, nitrate, and sulfate. So those type of fertilizers are known as inorganic fertilizers. After that, we have learned about harvesting. What is harvesting? Cutting of crop is known as harvesting. What is irrigation? Giving water to the crop by the farmer in their field is known as irrigation. What are pesticide and insecticides? The chemical used to kill pest and insect is known as pesticide or insecticide. So these are the main topics which we have covered in this paragraph, means healthy crops. And these are the techniques or essential requirement by which we can grow a healthy crops. So the next topic is the crop protection. Suppose we are growing a very healthy crop in our field. And if we are not protecting this crop from the outside animal or the wild animal, so what will happen? The wild animal will damage the total crop, and it will affect the output, means production of the crop. So as a healthy crop, as there are requirements for healthy crop, there should be a crop protection. Proper crop protection should be there. So crop protection include protecting the growing crops against insect, to protect it from insect, disease, weeds. What are weeds? Weeds are some unwanted plants which are grown with the main crops, like are growing wheat crop. Wheat crop. So what is the main crop? Wheat crop. So except wheat crop, there are some plant also which are grown along with the wheat crop. So we are interested in growing the wheat crop, and there are some unwanted plant also. So we do not want those plants along with wheat crop. So those unwanted plant are known as weeds. So those are known as weeds. So weeds are basically the unwanted plants grown along with the main plants, along with the main crops. So we do not want that unwanted plant, and those are known as weeds. Fungi and the other undesirable pests by using insecticide and pesticides. So we can protect our crops from disease, insect, weeds, fungi, and undesirable pests. And in which manner we can protect? By using insecticide, pesticide, fungicides. So all these are the chemicals which are easily available in the market. So we can purchase those chemicals and use in our field to protect our crop against disease, against insects, weeds, fungi. So we can use these chemicals. The next method is grazing animals. Grazing animals such as cow and goat and the animal like rat, birds, squirrels, and moles eat up fruit and crops. So grazing animal can easily damage the main crop. So they should be kept away from the field. They should be kept. There must be proper care of the field. There must be proper watching. Okay, so they should be kept away from the field. If they are not kept from the field, they will eat the main crop or main vegetable crop and it will affect the total output. The crop will damage. So we should keep those animals, those grazing animals away from the fields. Insect like caterpillar and the grasshoppers and the microbe like bacteria and the viruses cause disease in the crops. So there are some disease causing microbes like bacteria and virus. There are some insect like caterpillar and the grasshoppers which can cause disease in a crop. So pesticide and insecticides or fungicides are used to kill them. So we can use the pesticide, insecticide, and the fungicide to kill these insects like caterpillar, grasshoppers, or microbes like bacteria and the viruses or fungi. So we can take help of pesticide, insecticide, or fungicides. After growing a good crop, after harvesting, at last we required storage of crops. We are doing. We are putting the harvested crops into the gunny bags, into the bag made up of jute, or we are storing the grain at home in a large cylindrical container made up of iron or tin, and we are selling the crop into the market, into the big market known as mandi. And what will happen into the big market after purchasing the whole crop? They will store the whole crop in a large cylindrical container. There are huge space. There is a very large space, and they are making a large cylindrical storage container. Those large cylindrical storage container are known as silos or granaries. It is used by government or some private authorities which are storing the grain or the harvested crop at a very large scale. So that large container which are used for storage are known as silos or granaries. So let's discuss about storage of crops. So when the crops ripen, they are harvested and stored as grain. After drying, they should be kept safe from moisture and the small animal like rat, moles, squirrels, birds, and insects. For this purpose, grains should be stored in a dry and well ventilated room. Well ventilated room means there should be a proper air passage, there should be proper light, it should be dried. So that type of room is known as well ventilated rooms. Farmers store grain in jute bag or metallic beans, means metallic container. But large scale storage is done in silos or granaries. Large scale. Okay? Large scale, it is done by some private agencies or by government. So now let us discuss. Do you know manure is better than fertilizers because it increase water holding capacity of the soil, increase number of friendly microbes, and improve texture of the soil. So we should use more and more manure. Manure are organic fertilizers instead of chemical fertilizers. They are nature friendly. They increase water holding capacity of the soil. They increase the number of friendly microbes and improve the texture of the soil. Insecticides and pesticides are harmful as they affect more organisms than they are instead to kill. So they should be used in a limited amount. Insecticide and pesticides, they are harmful for nature. So these are the topic for today. Hope you get the explanation. If you are having any type of queries or any doubt, you may ask your question one by one. Yes, Akash sir. Akash sir.